it's been a while, but we're back on it. I've actually purchased a small property outside of Sydney. I've been spending a huge amount of time down there, and pinball's just taken a very back seat. I'm planning on launching a YouTube channel there called Farming Evangelist. If you're interested, you can go and subscribe to that. I might, if I get 50 subscribers or 100 subscribers, I might start posting some of those videos which I've been taking. But anyway, today back to pinball. I have a Supersonic machine which I have a Solenoid Driver board which is giving me troubles. The knocker is locked on, which means one of these TRP-102 transistors is gone. So we're going to replace that, look it up, see what's wrong. But to do that, normally I'd go to IPDD. So it's just I've got a recording of this now so you can see it. You'd go and search for the machine you want, Supersonic, scroll down, and there you'll go manual. You click on the manual, up will pop your manual, and you scroll along until you get to the text section where it gives you a breakdown of the boards, and also it normally gives you a list of the various transistors and what element they refer to. So if we go, have I gone past it? Chink, chink, chink. There it is there. So this is your solenoid driver board, and you can see roughly it's the same. And so normally you will then see the part numbers and things like this. You can see all those transistors are numbers 25, bang, over there. And then you go to 25 and you can see the Q1 to Q19, Q1 to Q19. In fact, it's across here that are numbered in a strange way down here, but nevertheless you can see all the numbers printed on the circuit board, and you can see the part numbers in there, but it doesn't tell you the respective transistor that is applicable to which solenoid. But there is a very cool little website called pinballrebel.com, and on there they've got all of the tech charts. The tech charts show all of that. So again, you can just scroll down on Pinball Rebel till you get to Supersonic, click on that, and up will pop the tech chart. And that tech chart gives you a list of the lamps, it gives you all your switch matrix, but what I'm really after is this here, which gives you each of the solenoids, the numbers, the colors on the wires, the connectors, and then the driver transistor, which is here. So I've got an issue with the knocker, which is solenoid number 2, goes across, and you can see it's Q number 3, and when you look and you go through the board, you can go and find Q number 3 is here. And I can also see that Q number 2 is damaged, but it doesn't seem to be used anywhere, but I can actually see that one is visibly damaged. Normally that's Q number 2, you can see in there. Well, let me zoom in there. You don't need a voltmeter to see that that one's done, but you can see along here we've got the numbers, and if you scroll along you can see here is Q number 2, and the one in the manual for the knocker which is locked on is Q3, which is this one, which we will go and test, and I'll show you how to do that. So how do you test a transistor? I've done a couple of these videos, but let's get into that. And it's a pretty easy job. It's probably one of the most common jobs that you need to do on one of these old boards. This game is over 40 years old, 45 at the moment. So, you know, these things do go. They're not really designed to last that long, but they have done. So let's get into this and have a look at how to test a transistor. So before we go and test all of these, what does a good transistor look like? And in terms of what would you expect if you did a test on it? So here's a brand new TRP-102. I've got the voltmeter, multimeter set up here. I've set it on diode test, you can see this little arrow with a line on it, if you can see that. And if you take the black lead and put it on the central tab, and then each of the outside legs, these should read somewhere between 0.5 and 0.7 volts. So there we go. And this one is 0.7. Not a big surprise, this is good. Okay, so now that we know what a good transistor looks like, we're looking for 0.5 and 0.7 on each of the outside legs if you ground, if you connect the negative lead to that central tab. Okay, so now we're going to go through and test this. So each one of these, I'm going to go and have a look. 0.6, just under 0.6, that's the first one. Okay, look at that. So this is Q3. So this is the one that we have where it's locking on. And so you're seeing I am getting 0.03 of a volt, so nothing close to what you'd expect, and 0.6. So this one here is not good. What I'll do is I'll go and find a pen. Let me just double check that again. There we go. So that's 3. So that one's dead. Let's go 4. That's good. This one I can visibly see is damaged. So I mean, you can see this one. There's actually a gap. You can put. It just goes in there, but let's test it for completeness. That is completely blown. I mean, which doesn't surprise me given the state of it. So that's damaged. Always check all of them, because once you've taken the trouble of taking the game out, there's no point in going through and repairing one transistor, because one thing could have led to some kind of spike and taken out more than one, and you just happen to have noticed the first one. Okay, so we know we've got 2 bad transistors. This one here, Q3, and Q2. So if we go back to the text sheet, you'll see that Q3 is the knocker, Q2 is actually not used for anything. So I'm going to replace both Q2 and Q3 because they're both bad, and we'll hopefully get this back in the game, and it's a 5 minutes fix. Basically you put a bit of flux, you put a bit of fresh solder on the 3 points, which gives it new flux. That's one. Three. And then let's try and suck it up. Let's go. Encouragement. Okay, I'm just going to clip these. This one's a bit damaged, so I'm just going to clip them off. Just pull them up one by one. Okay, so just clip the legs off. And so you're left with, on the side, 3 little prongs. It just makes, you can see they're loose, but they can come out one by one. Small chance of damaging them. Oh, I've desoldered the wrong hole. That is the other leg. So I'll need to resolder that little leg there. Let's put a bit of fresh solder on there. The one that I soldered up by mistake. It's normally a lot simpler, but these boards are quite a lot jammed in. Okay, so those are the transistors out. Now the coils are pretty clean, I just need to get the new transistors in. Okay, so I've got the TP102s, which is the transistor that goes in here. So let's keep a bunch of these. And these go in same way as the others went in. So to be careful when you put it in that you don't damage the trace on the other side. Going through there, and it's just basic, just solder on up, that looks good. You can see those. Get another one. Okay, that's pretty much done. It's not perfect, but it's pretty good. You can see that's concentrated. So what I will do now is just go and check between the legs that there's no continuity. So just set the that's buggered. And just check between the legs that there's no continuity. The ones that I've just done, just to make sure that it's right there. that's right there, but between any of the legs there's no continuity, which is great. So and so if we go back and do the original test that I did, put this onto diode. Again, we're looking for between, so I changed this one, so black on the main lead, on the big steel thing. So black on the tab. You're looking for 0.6, 0.7 on each one, and 0.2, Q2, and Q2. Here we go. Okay, so that's done, that's dusted. Hopefully that helps. The machine's not actually here, so I'm not going to be able to show you this today in the machine. I might do that in the next video, but look, it's taken me a while to get back to it. Changing a transistor is one of the most fundamental things that you need to be able to do on a pinball machine. It's one of the most common of all of the components which go on a machine. They blow quite easily, so learn how to do it. It's pretty simple. Make a short pudding for a soldering before you do the solder sucking. If you can do that, it's pretty quick, pretty easy. While I've got this board out, I'll just have a look at some of the other solder joints. They all look fine. Some work has been done on this before, so I'm pretty happy. This is going to go back in the machine, and the Supersonic will be up and running again. If you like this, you can give us a like. You can hit a comment if you've got any questions. If you think I've done anything wrong, go for it. If there's anything else you like to see, or this has helped you, let me know. Thanks very much. It's Jason, and hopefully it won't be another year before I put up another video.